Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about unit rates and what that means for us as far as finding how much per. See, because we have talked before about rates, and rates mean per. So miles per hour, dribbles per minute, anything like that. Jeff hikes a half mile every 15 minutes or a quarter of an hour. Lisa hikes 1/3 mile every 10 minutes or 1/6 of an hour. How far do they each hike in 1 hour? Well, what we're looking at here is a problem that involves us looking at their rates of hiking. So I've given us a clock here, and what I'm going to kind of do here is kind of split the time. So this is Jeff, and every 15 minutes, so this much. So here's 15 mins, or quarter of an hour. You can see we've divided our clock into fourths there. Let me scroll up just a little bit. So we divide our clock into fourths here. And every quarter of an hour, he hikes a half of a mile. Well, if I kind of look at this, I can see that in 1 hour, that would be 2 miles. Okay, so that's kind of in our head. We've said, okay, I've got a quarter of an hour, so that's a half mile each quarter of an hour. So that's 2 miles in an hour. Lisa, every 10 minutes, she hikes, so here's my 10 minutes, and I'll just divide this into 10-minute segments. They already told me that was a 1/6 of an hour, so 1/3 of a mile here, 1/3. And I'm putting in each of these because each segment here, each wedge of time that she goes, she's going to be hiking, these. So there's 1 mile. And here's 1 mile. Well, she also hikes 2 miles. Okay, so we know the answer. They each hike in 1 hour. They hike 2 miles. In 2 hours, they hike 4 miles. But where does that come from? How do I get a rate out of that? And what that gives me is unit rates. How do I find a unit rate? So what I'm going to do is finding unit rates means finding the amount of whatever it is, either hiking or driving or dribbling per time. So it's amount per time. And it's a division problem. It's amount divided by time. Frankly, it's a division problem. So for Jeff here, notice we're calculating per hour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide his amount of miles per hour. So I'm going to take a half a mile and divide that by a quarter of an hour. Well, now I've got this complex fraction here, and I remember, of course, that dividing fractions means 1/2 divided by 1/4 actually equals 1/2 times 4/1, so multiplying by the reciprocal. And what I end up with is 4 over 2 gives me really just 2, and this was miles, and this was hours, so miles per hour. Notice I got the same answer for Jeff, so 2 miles in 1 hour, so 2 miles per hour. With Lisa, we're going to do a similar problem, and Lisa is actually 1/3 every 1/6 of an hour. So how much of an hour? So 1/6 of an hour. And so that's going to give us 1/3 times 6/1. I just skipped that part where I did the division problem. And so I'm going to have 6/3, which equals 2 miles per hour. So notice I divided the rate, or to find the rate, I did the amount divided by the time. So hiking miles per hour, driving miles per hour. Okay, so that's how we find unit rate using a given quantity and given time. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.